Do you go into the softcore, not gentleman's literature, but gentleman's cinematic theatre kind of thing? You said you wanted to go on Playboy in WW around 2006. So was this something that you just always had in the back of your mind that you wanted to do, or did someone just present you with an opportunity?
I always wanted to do Playboy. That was the thing. I'm glad I never did because I have a different opinion of Playboy and Hugh Hefner now.
Hmm.
But and I have for years before all these stuff came out because when I started hearing this stuff behind the scenes, that's when my opinion
Yeah,
changed.
one of his girlfriends wrote like an expose book, didn't she? And I read portions of that, and I remember reading that and going, "Oh," I was almost like taken aback. I was almost like, "Can this be possibly true?" Turns out it was.
Well, without wrestling, I used to go to the mansion. I used to want to be one of Hef's girlfriends. Like I was deep in, and some of those girls I knew. Like I wasn't BFF with them, but I knew them, and especially because we ran around with the same groups of people and stuff like that. So my whole thing when like I did this stupid DVD with Jewel Denial, that's like the thing I can't live down. And what had happened is Jewel Denial hit me up. She's like, we're gonna do like a Betty Page kind of project. And so I was like, oh, I love Betty Page. Like, yeah. And so when I went to go film, I didn't realize that it was so I thought it was just gonna be like Betty Page, da, 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 not whoa. And at the time, I was so broke, so broke. I was in TNA. I had to pay my rent. And so I took that money and I already had the money. So I was like, I have to do it. And it sucks because in that video I did, there's times in between tapings that I went in this closet and hid and cried because I couldn't believe that I allowed myself to like be here in that moment. It was crappy and it was not fun. And that's why I don't care if people think I'm a bitch. When they want me to sign that DVD, I won't do it. And I remember one time at a signing, this guy was like, oh, but blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I was like, look, my grandfather sexually abused me. And when I shot that, that's what it made me feel like. So you want me to sign that? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Hmm.
So it was a really dark place. And actually TNA helped me with that because after the film had came out, um, Jewel Denial had me booked at some like adult con thing with her to like do a signing, and Terry Taylor put the kibosh on it quick. And I'm very grateful for that because no offense to people if that's what they do, but for me, it's not for me. And it came at a very, excuse me, out of a very dark, dark, desperate place. And so it I'm grateful TNA was like, no. And he was like, I'll handle it. Don't worry. Cause I was like, she's going to be mad at me. He's like, no, I'll handle it. I'll do it. And she did get mad at me, but she was more mad at him. And so I was like, okay. So TNA, I give them credit for that, especially Terry Taylor for pulling me out of a slippery slope that I shouldn't have been playing in at all.
Well, I know you've got, and I'm sure you'll plug the website as well. Something like an OnlyFans, but you have your own website as well. I've not that I watch many documentaries on the adult entertainment industry, but there's so many girls and guys actually going into OnlyFans as well because it's if you're going to do it, it's nice to be your own boss and do everything on your own terms and stuff. So, I mean, you're nodding there. So, yeah, how do you feel about that instead of working for someone else doing that kind of thing?
Well, I don't do topless or nude. So that's my thing. I gave that up. I haven't shot topless or nude over 10 years or more. Like, I don't know. It's been a long time. Um, my problem with it is because of my modeling background I had before wrestling ever entered, I had my own website like way back in the day, like 2000 or like 1999. Like I have been doing websites because I had always been doing modeling. Like I said, I was hoping that would lead me to wrestling, which it did, but that didn't mean like I completely stopped. And I had this website. And so maybe that's why a lot of people in my career kind of lumped me in with like the diva search girls and things like that because of that. But I got a lot of flack from it, and not just from the guys, but really from some girls who like are considered taken very serious in the business, and they just look down their nose at me and would stiff me and do all this stuff. And so it irks me now that those same bitches have full on nude or topless OnlyFans now. And it's like, you know what? I'd have no problem with that if you didn't make my life hell before and try to get me blackballed. So that's my problem I have. I'm all for people, make your content, do your thing. I think it's awesome with not just OnlyFans, but Patreon as well. Just doing your own thing on your terms, awesome. But those assholes out there that made it so difficult for me, talking their crap, trying to blackball me, and they're over there doing like some real fetishy type of stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Now it's okay. Got it.